welcome to the transitioning table. It is so good to have you. Kingdom greetings, great awakening, grand rising, all that beautiful stuff. Sending you oodles and oodles of love from Kenya. Yes, from East Africa, from the motherland. Welcome to the transitioning table. Today, as you see the title saying, transitioning from America to Africa, specifically now, where she's here with me in the coastal region of Kenya. And I am eternally grateful to to welcome her home to the continent, Karibu Nubani. Yes.
Nzuri sana.
And so today we're going to talk with Mama Cheryl about her transitioning from America to Tanzania, from Tanzania to Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's going to tell, this is an uncut, unscripted interview. So be prepared to just hear her story. And that's what the transition is all about. The transitioning table is all about hearing the diaspora story of their transitioning, whether it's from one country in Kenya, in Africa to another, transitioning from America to Africa, however your transitioning process is taking place. That is what we're here for, to talk about the transitioning, even out of Christianity to your spirituality, from Hinduism or Muslim, whatever your transition is. The transition table wants to talk about it. And so today we welcome Mama Cheryl. It's so good to have you. How are you? How is your journey going? But anyway, tell us about yourself. Tell the people who you are, where you came from. Let us talk about your journey home.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
It's been a journey.
It's still a journey.
It's still a journey. I realize it's a journey until you take the final journey.
Come on now, say that again.
Till you take your final journey.
Okay.
And the thing that I have learned is that it's up to you how you journey.
Ah.
Yes. So.
Meaning that it's your attitude in the journey.
Yes, ma'am. It is your attitude.
Yes.
It's following the voice of the Spirit really makes your transition a lot more pleasurable.
Mm.
So I left California to July the 11th, coming here. I arrived here on the 13th of July in 2020, and it has been amazing.
Wow.
I have no complaints. I'm sorry, 2021 is when we.
2021.
2021.
2021, she transitioned you all.
Yes. And in that transition, we tried to come one time before, the group of us. It was about 6 of us.
Wow.
And that was October the year before.
Okay.
Right
2020.
Right in the middle of the pandemic. We had planned to come to South Africa to visit.
Wow.
But Tata and Zambi shut the door.
Shut the front door.
I mean, anything that could happen happened to where I ended up in the hospital. A friend of mine who's on some very strategic medicine for her body, she has to have it. Couldn't even get it. And any other time she could have gotten the medicine, no problem.
No problem.
Right then and there.
When it's time to travel.
When it was time to go. And then her son, who we paid extra to get it expedited, his passport expedited.
Wow.
It didn't come until about a week after.
Wow.
So anyway, I'm going to say that whole trip was started. The other 3 was going to try to come, only to get to the airport to discover they had the wrong COVID test.
Wow.
After paying almost over $1,500 for the 3 tests.
Wow.
And so we came to the realization that that was a door shut by the Most High.
Protection.
Divine
protection.
Even though we lost quite a bit of money on that trip, we came to realize this whole transitioning thing is about really learning to hear the voice of the Spirit of the Most High.
Yes.
If you are not in tune with that spirit, it will definitely leave you devastated.
I'm quite sure.
It will
I'm
leave you
quite sure.
devastated.
I'm frustrated.
Oh my gosh.
I'm frustrated to
And,
spend that kind of money
Yes.
to
yes.
take those tests during that time because
Yes.
they were charging, I mean, astronomical
Crazy
prices
money.
and stuff like that,
Yes.
depending on where you went to
Yep.
do those tests, and then to get to the airport and find out it's the wrong test.
Yeah. And there's no
And there's
refund.
no refund.
Yes.
There's no do-over.
Yes. And the tickets, the good thing about the tickets were good for 2 years.
Okay, that's
So
what's
that
the
was
insurance on the
good.
ticket.
Yeah, everybody bought the insurance on the ticket.
Yeah, very good.
But the whole key thing was a mental play.
Yeah.
And we realized that in the end, because it goes back to the scripture that says a man's heart plans his ways, but the Most High has to order his steps. Tata and Zambi has to order his steps.
So I want to ask a question right there, because you said it was 6 of you that planned to come. 3 of you had complications in terms of not being able to go, and then the other 3, when they got to the airport, they found out that their test was
The
the
wrong
wrong test. My question there again, in advancing, there are 6 of you still came together, or?
Yes.
Okay.
In July,
Okay.
the first group came the 1st of June, and it was 2 of us that came later. One lady still has not come. But we were all coming to visit on the first trip. But after I realized that, I went home and I really sought the Most High to the point where I said, I am moving. I
Okay.
had never been to Africa.
But this
Always
is
had a desire from a child to come and see things in Africa. I was a fan of National Geographic.
Come on now, I think
Ah,
me and my
my
children,
God.
National Geographic was our.
Every Saturday when I was in front of the television and I was watching, what was his name on National Geographic, the older guy, you know?
I can't remember
yes,
his name, but he
but-
was a real oracle narrator.
Yeah, he was a lovely orator, and he really made me want to come. And there was 2 things I wanted to see: animals in the wild and acacia trees. That was all I wanted to see when I came to Africa.
Wow.
But going back to the transition,
Trans-
when we decided to come, I decided I'm moving. Sold everything I had, sold my home, sold everything. And,
But my question there again, hold on now, listen to me. She said she had to make up in her mind, she ain't coming to visit. She's selling everything. That was a bold decision. The question I have is, have you ever been to Africa before this time, right?
only in dreams.
Okay.
Never.
You were never here before.
I've been, listen, I've
You was
traveled
one and
all
done.
over. Listen, okay, so, Expedia used to have a YouTube channel where you can travel anywhere in the world. And the videos were like 11 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, or whatever. So I traveled all over Africa on YouTube.
On YouTube.
I was a
I got you.
YouTube traveler.
Okay.
And I went to many places. That's how I showed you about the Maldives. I went all over and I learned. But when the time came, it was like the Spirit said, and now if anybody knows me, I don't make rash decisions. But when I sought the Most High, when I sought the Father, I knew that this could not be a temporary
A
visit.
one and done trip.
I knew it had to be permanent.
Wow.
And when I made up my mind, I had family.
Wow.
I had friends.
Yes.
But when the Most High calls you, you have to be willing to let go
Let go.
of everything that you have been comfortable with. Since I've come here now, I realize it's not about comfort, it's about function. It's
Come
about
on.
purpose. It's about destiny.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. When I got to Tanzania, it was a hard place to be. I knew I needed to be there. I knew he called me there. But when you're traveling with people, you have to let it play out.
Yeah. So your first country that you landed in when you came to the continent was Tanzania.
Yes.
And how was that transitioning coming through that airport? What was the cup of emotion
Ah,
that emotion of landing in the airport in Tanzania. You know that you've touched the tarmac. You're coming out of that airplane. Walk us through that little
okay.
emotion right there.
Yes. When I got on the plane, at that time we had to wear a mask. So I took a picture of myself in that mask, with that mask, while I was sitting on the plane, and I said to myself, whatever is in me that would thwart your purpose for my life, remove it before I touch down.
Come on. Wow.
Let those things that would hinder my purpose, please, I still got that picture on my phone with that mask on.
Wow.
Take out of me those things that would hinder my destiny and your purpose for my life. When I landed, it was almost like I was outside of my body.
Wow.
And when they did the test, it was nerve-wracking because I was traveling with someone that kind of needed help and stuff. So, and so I decided that, okay, I am on the ground. I am in Africa.
Hey.
All I had to, for the first time in my life, I put my total trust in the Most High. Because if you had that COVID test and it came back positive, things could go different.
Yes,
they
could put you back on that plane.
Yes.
And send you back. Actually, they quarantined you.
Yes, for 14 days.
Yeah.
But none of that went wrong.
Come
and that's
on.
when I knew I was in line with His purpose.
And then when you got to immigration.
When I got to immigration, because, oh my gosh, immigration there it's almost like militant.
Wow.
It's very, very, very militant. There is no compassion. There is no, basically, we don't care.
Wow. This is immigration inside Tanzania airport.
That's immigrations, period. Anywhere you go with immigrations, that's pretty much how you have to deal. They deal with you. Nothing is...
hold on now, because that's your experience there.
That's my experience
in Tanzania.
Yes.
Yeah, because we know there's
another side to that story.
Yes.
And that's the part of the reason why I am here in Kenya.
Yes.
So yes, and once I got on the ground, things were still a little upheaval because we trusted, the older people trusted the younger group to go before us to kind of set things in order.
Put things in motion.
Yes, but when you're doing that and you're trusting someone else, things didn't go as smooth as I would have liked it to have gone because I'm a very organized person.
Right.
But the thing I've learned here,
come on, tell us about coming home.
I'm going to say it like I tell everybody.
This is a totally different experience when you're here.
This is not Burger King, and you don't get to have things your way.
That's it.
I tell anybody that comes here,
forget.
These people here operate different, and you have to understand. If you're bringing a certain mentality here, a Babylonian mindset, and that's what I'm going to say, because we think that we've had it so good in America. Privileged. You thought you were privileged. You had it. You know, you can come and go as you please. You can do. There is a whole different mindset.
Slow down, kidogo.
Hey.
Poli.
Everything here is.
Comes to a stop.
And so I had to say, I went to the Most High, and not out of frustration, out of trying to understand how to adapt.
Yeah.
Because what I realized, it's not about having things your way. It's about fitting.
How do I adjust?
How do I make adjustments? Because there's a lot of things here in the States you wouldn't tolerate.
Yeah.
You would not accept.
No.
So, and here, you still don't have to tolerate it. You still don't have to accept it, but you do have to adjust.
You have to make the adjustments.
You have to make the
help them.
Exactly.
Help them.
You have to help them to see, but not trying to Americanize them.
But see, how do we work? It's like a video I did. How do we work together?
Exactly.
How do I help you and how do you help me?
Exactly.
I help you with what I'm coming with and you help me with what you know here.
Exactly.
So we now got, this is where they talk about the two sticks coming together.
That's it. And it's coming together slowly. Because you have to make adjustments and you have to decide what's important and what's not.
Are you going to allow this to frustrate you and send you back? or you're going to make the adjustments and try to work with them
Yes.
and become a part of Alchemize.
Yes. Because you got to remember, we have our own culture.
Yes, we do. Oh, we do.
And they have their
Yeah.
culture.
Mhm.
But here is the thing. We're in their space.
Yeah.
You don't get to just
come and pour you
pour
out.
out, and criticize everything they do.
No.
Because they've been doing this for thousands of years, just like we've been doing it for many, many years.
And what I tell people is the difference between us and them.
Yes.
We were taken out of it.
Come on.
You understand? So we experienced some other things. We had to make the necessary adjustments out there.
Yes.
And build ourselves and
Yes.
reinvent ourselves.
Yes.
But for them, they were in custody, they were enslaved in their own
land.
house.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
they grew up in it. They were not able to make the mental adjustments, the emotional adjustments,
Yes.
the spiritual adjustments
Yes.
as we were able to.
Yes.
So how did you, how did you help yourself? Because I say somebody else helping you, but how did you help yourself making this mental and emotional and physical adjustment to a whole different way of life? Being as disciplined, because you're still a disciplined person. I've been around you long enough and I see that you still have that discipline about you, but now making that adjustment with all of your years of discipline
Yes.
to come here.
The one thing I can say that will help you make the adjustment is not having unrealistic expectations.
Come on, tell somebody else. Somebody else need to hear that all the way in the back there.
Please,
all the way in Texas.
All the way where I'm from originally. I'm original Texan. But having unrealistic expectations when you go out and you function in these communities, to go somewhere, that's why I say that's the Burger King mentality. You cannot have it your way. Just because you order a plate of food does not mean it's going to come the way you order it.
Not only that, the seasoning.
Come on now.
Is totally different.
Exactly.
The way of preparing the food.
Exactly. The way it's served.
It's the way it's served.
The way it's put on your table.
Yeah.
It's all different. But now, here is the thing.
Okay.
If you let go of that mindset, that I want what I want, when I want it, how I want it. Because you are in their land. You are, even though we're from America, we're still in a foreign land.
Yeah.
This is foreign to us. But let me tell you what you can do. This is the one thing you can do. Let go of your preconceived ideas.
Come on.
Please let go of those things that will hinder your purpose. Because this is what Charmaine and I have been talking about. When you go out, everything you do have an effect.
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect on everybody you around.
Yes.
When you go out, these people have an excellent memory.
Yes, they do.
They remember what you do, they remember what you say, and they remember how you treat them.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
And depending on what they remember about you, is how they react to you.
Yes. Yes, how they respond.
How they respond to you.
Yeah. So my next question there is now, so you made the mental adjustments, you made the physical adjustments, you start to put away the unrealistic expectation, because now we're talking about Tanzania, because Tanzania was your first place of welcoming you home.
Yes.
What was the atmosphere like in Tanzania? Because I visit Tanzania, but you actually spent
2 years.
2 years, okay, 2 years there.
Yes,
Right.
I did. The atmosphere in Tanzania is, number one, you have to understand, Africa is a spiritual country.
Yes, it is.
Continent. The entire Africa is a very
much so.
spiritual
Very
continent. How Africa was colonized was through religion.
Yes.
And because of that, religion still is the forefront of all
It's
actions
a strong
here.
man.
I went to open up a bank account, and they asked me, "What religion are you?"
Wow.
And I said, "None." That was not acceptable.
Wow. So opening up a bank account in Tanzania, you must tell them your religion.
Your religion.
Wow.
And I said, non-denominational.
They didn't understand. No, that didn't compute.
That did not compute.
You got to be either this or this.
And so I said, they said, well, you either here, we're either Muslim or we are Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are some Catholics there, but they're minimal. And I said, but I'm neither. And so she just put on the thing, non-Christian.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
There is a religious war all over this continent, I'm sure, because it's here as well as it was in Tanzania.
Yes, it is.
But there is a religious war because that's all they know. That's how they operate.
That's how they were colonized.
That's how they were colonized, and that's all they know. And they are very extremely, extremely religious.
Yeah.
And religions, culture, and traditions top everything.
Yeah.
That's at the top of the chart.
Yeah.
So
religion first.
Yes.
Then culture.
Then
your traditions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you're coming, you're not going to change that.
No.
That's not for you to change.
No.
That's for the top tie and Zambi to change.
That's the Most High's job.
You cannot change that. And to be honest with you, you don't want to. Now, this is where I have to partner with the Jesus thing. You have to walk out there and you have to be the example.
Yeah, you have to live the life in front of these people and make them curious.
Exactly.
To this spirituality, this journey that you're on.
Yes.
In order for them to come, because I've been here in Kenya now. November coming is going to be 4 years of me being here.
Wow.
And with that, I've learned being here, especially because it's very spiritual, like you said.
Yes,
I always tell people, when you first hit this continent, the first thing you need to do is spend time in isolation,
yes, ma'am.
amalgamating yourself and fitting into the spiritual atmosphere of the land first. Before you talk about running out there and trying to do things and conquer and change, you got to amalgamate yourself. But one of the things I learned with being here in terms of the spirituality is living that life of example.
Yes.
And then they come
Yes.
and they start asking you questions.
Exactly.
They come
That's
asking.
exactly what
So,
they do.
so you tell me you're here for this. So tell me a little bit more about it. Because they stand off from you for a while, but they watch. They watch your attitude. They watch how you treat you. They watch your conversation.
Yes.
And so,
what I decided, went home, I had a conversation with the Most High. What I have learned to do since I've been here is daily reflection.
yes.
How did this happen? How could I have done something different? Was this okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I started doing when I went out, because the Most High didn't call us to hide our light.
Mm-hmm.
He called us to put our light on a hill. So what I started doing was when I'd go out and I would get in one of the transportation vehicles, when I get in there, before I left my house, the first thing I did, lead and guide me by your Mwandan spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Connect me with those that you want to connect me with. It helped me to recognize when somebody is trying to take advantage of me. Let me know by your spirit. So I went out every day in prayer.
Intentional.
Yes,
you have to be intentional
by
with your
everything you do.
Yes, you got to be intentional.
And so what I would do, sometimes when I would get in one of the little vehicles that I'm traveling, there was always other people already in there.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when I would get out, I just felt led to pay for their ride.
Mm-hmm.
That would send them into shock. You know, and I would say, no, I'm paying for everybody in here. Because it was only like 500 t-shirts.
Yeah.
So I would pay, sometimes that would be like 2,000,
Mm-hmm.
I mean 200 t-shirts. It wasn't that much.
Yeah.
So I would pay. And many times they would be holding a baby.
Yeah.
Well, they trying to move around and I put my hands out, even hold their children.
Yeah.
I would make myself
Available. That's it. Not standoffish.
Not standoffish.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing is when you get into one of they call them bajajis in Tanzania. When you got into one of them, the drivers.
Come on.
When I got out of that thing, I would say, and especially if they were open and kind.
Yes.
I would say, may your day be favored by the Most High. Maybe he increase you today more and more. And they would go, amen, amen. And listen, Listen.
Pronouncing a blessing over them.
We are pronouncing a blessing. May your day be filled with joy. Maybe your family be favored by the Most High. I would just stand there for just a few seconds and impart into them the love of the Most High.
That's it.
That's all I knew to do. There was nothing else I could do. My job was not to change them.
No.
My job was to change me.
Change you.
That's it. Change me. And I had to, and it's not hard when you focus off yourself. That's what makes your transitional much easier. When you focus on them and not on yourself. And let me tell you something. It will create compassion and empathy. Let me tell you something. These people here are in survival mode.
Yes.
We were in survival mode in America.
Yes.
But a lot of us are coming here
In survival mode.
in survival mode, but we
Yes.
don't realize we're in survival mode. And you're trying to transition in a place that you're not familiar with.
Yeah.
Survival is what you have to do.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
But they have lived their whole life in survival mode. So have we.
So we
So
fight
they-
and flight.
Exactly. So now, me and the Most High is having a conversation. Me and the Tata, we're having a conversation. And he says to me, I want you to let go of everything you thought about Africa.
You're preconceived.
Everything
You're
you have
preconceived.
thought. And I'm in Tanzania, and I'm with a group, and and this is the thing I had to learn about myself. When you come to Africa, this place will expose you to you.
Yes. You get to learn about
Hey.
yourself more than anything else.
And because I did not realize how much of a people pleaser I was.
Okay. Come on now.
I did not realize how codependent I was.
Come on now. Say
I
it.
did not realize who I really was.
I'll tell you what here.
And the mistakes that I had made in life, and I brought them on myself because of my mindset. Your childhood trauma is going to be exposed here.
Yes, it is. Yes.
What you have gone through will come back to bite you in the rear end.
And to heal you at the same time.
And
too.
to heal you.
If you
If
want
you
what
allow
he did, if you allow it.
If you
If you allow it to
Yeah.
heal you, it will heal you.
But a lot of people are coming here trying to build and trying to do this. And as organized as I am, let me tell you something. Chaos will destroy
Yeah.
everything you thought you were.
Come on.
Why am I so organized? Because I grew up, and I'm being vulnerable, I grew up in a family that was not.
So now, because of the chaos of the family, it made you become overly.
Overly organized.
And so if anybody else comes into your environment that is not as organized as you, that's a problem.
That's the problem. But guess what? Here, organization, being on time,
Being on time?
honoring their word does not exist here.
No. They tell you 8 o'clock and they don't come until 10.
On Tuesday, they told you we're coming on Tuesday, won't be
Tuesday.
10 on Thursday.
10 Thursday.
And
Okay?
they see nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong with it because
It's their
it's
lifestyle.
a fabric of their life.
It's exactly.
And the thing about it is, and I could say for me the difference in terms of Nairobi and being in the coast. In Nairobi is a hustle and bustle and a fast pace. But when you come to the coast, they have this mentality: if you wanted it today, you should have come from last week. so it really slows down even all the more. And for me, it isn't frustrating for me because I come from an island life.
Yes.
Whereas you go into those government offices and stuff like that, you might as well don't even pack a lunch. You say when you go into the government office, pack a lunch. Prepare yourself to be there all day.
Exactly.
And that's it.
And that's the same mentality they have here. So although I don't like it, although I don't like having to tolerate it, it goes back to picking your battles.
Yeah.
How much of this can I tolerate? So what I'm learning to do, and this is where the intentional come in.
Yeah.
I'm retired. I don't have a whole lot to do.
So what's your rush?
So what's the hurry?
I never see somebody walk so fast. Oh my gosh. Slow down. Look around. Take notice.
I know, because my whole life I've lived on a mission.
Yeah.
I've always had purpose, and because
Focus.
I'm in the service world,
Yeah.
and because okay, this is where childhood things will make a difference.
Yeah.
I had a grandmother that said to me, "Don't ever not finish what you start."
Yeah.
I've lived my whole life fulfilling my grandmother's words.
Yeah.
So, the Most High brings me to a place to where I had to have a conversation. When I left Tanzania to come to Kenya, I asked him, did I finish what you brought me?
Okay. Solid.
There it is.
Here we go. This is what it's all about right here, family. We give thanks and praise to the Most High at the same time. So here I am, I'm back. We're back. Yes.
So I was saying that the Most High showed me that when you are in His perfect will, you have to follow the orders at the time. I read the book of Thomas.
Okay.
And the book of Thomas talks about one thing. Tomorrow's gone.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, no, yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not here yet. Living in the moment.
In the moment. Now.
Living now.
Right now. In
Right
this very
now,
present
in this
moment
very-
right now.
Right now. And living in the moment means that I don't know what's coming next. I don't understand what's coming next. But the one thing about it, I know I'm equipped to deal with what's coming next.
Let me break that down so we can understand that even all the more, how personal it is for me.
Yes.
I can go all the way back to 1999. Here I am, a young woman married with my children. My mom and my niece came to visit me. My mom lived on one island, I live on another island. Her and my niece came to spend the summer. She spent a whole month. She enjoyed her four grandbabies at the time, because that's the four of them she had. Only four grandbabies. She left my house to go back home on I think it was the 2nd of September. And my children, my mom, they enjoyed one another. She taught them she tell them, come, let me teach you how to make banana bread. So me, I was like, okay, mommy, go ahead. You go with them downstairs. You all go make banana bread. I stay and order it. That's grandmother and children's business. They go on downstairs. I peep downstairs. She taking the bananas and she's slicing the bananas and putting it between two slices of bread. She was living in the moment with her grandchildren and she was enjoying. They said, Nana, this is not banana bread like how mommy just make it. She said, no, this is how Nana makes banana bread. Yeah, eat banana bread. Living in the moment.
Living in the moment.
But the thing is this, my children have that memory for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
Because that's the last time they saw their grandmother alive.
Hey.
My mom went home, and by the 9th of September, her eyes was closed and her voice was silent.
Wow.
So this is what we're talking about.
Wow.
Living in the moment.
Yes.
Living now. And for the longest while, it haunted me. Yeah. I did not want to become 45. For the longest while, because it was at 45 my mom passed. Young woman, vibrant, full of life.
Yes.
3 strokes and
there you go.
Gone.
That's it.
And my sister told me afterwards, she said, she told my sister, if I was to ever get sick, she asked the Most High, don't let her linger on this earth for her children to have to take care of her. Let her go quickly. And the nurse said, she turned around to get medication for my mom. And time when she turned back around to give her the medication, all she saw was this smile came on her face, and she was gone.
Wow.
So when you said that just now, it triggered an emotion inside of me to understand the necessity in living in the moment, enjoying every day that the Most High allowed us to open up our eyes and see a brand new day, whether it's raining, whether there's a storm, whether the sun's shining, whether it's cold, live and enjoy that day. Whether we failed at something, which is only an experience.
Yes.
And so I'm thankful for you saying that.
Yes.
Because that triggered that memory of why it is so important.
Yes.
To live in the moment, because you don't know the very next moment you're going to be silenced.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you're going to be hushed and gone.
And gone.
This is the other aspect of living in the moment. What legacy are you leaving behind?
Thank you. Exactly.
What people will say. I mean, you say, I don't care what people say about me no, you must leave a good legacy.
Yes.
A positive.
Absolutely.
It's necessary. So now, with you living in the moment, I remember when Nabi Jonathan had given me your contact, and he said, Apostle, because he called me, Apostle, you need to connect with Mama Cheryl. You need to connect with her. You know, y'all kind of get together. I just see y'all coming to get together. I was like, okay, we'll contact and stuff like that. And so he gave me your number. And then I reached out to you over there in Tanzania, and just like, okay, I'm going to come and visit. I was like, okay, no problem. That's when I was in Nairobi at the time. But it wasn't timing.
It wasn't timing. It wasn't timing.
Timing.
He had to do a lot of work in me. Number one, I'm in a foreign country, and I realized I do a lot of self-reflection. Why can't I do this? Why won't I do this? Take me to the root of why this. We don't realize how much childhood trauma keeps us stagnant, keeps us in a rut, keeps us from moving forward, keeps us from reaching our destiny. You know, he had to say something to me when I was in Tanzania, and I asked him,
yes, family. Give us one moment here. Yes. Excuse me 1 second. You can go ahead and talk.
Yeah. But he gave me this word, and it was, even though you went through all of those things, and they will still trigger every now and then, but he said, laying aside every weight and sin that so easily befalls you, I had to learn to let go of things that I thought I should complete. But here is the deal. I was walking down the street just the other day, and I was telling Charmaine what the Most High said to me. He said, I created everything in 7 days, but I only did one thing a day.
That's right.
When you are an organized person, you have these lists of things you want to accomplish in order to feel successful. But success is not fulfilling every desire, every dream, every hope you have.
Nope.
Success is your relationship.
Yes.
Success is building community, building a future, building hope in other people. See, a lot of my friends want to build wealth. But when you cause somebody at the bottom to level up, to me, that's wealth. That is wealth. So I'm saying to you, when you come here, leave your expectations, your thoughts, your intentions, and connect with the Spirit of the Most High, that He will guide and lead you, that you will become successful in Him, and not in your own plans.
And so, family, we're going to end this broadcast right here, and we will be right back. Much love, family. Yeah. Yes, family. Much love.